Hello, my name is Ruth Garza. Welcome to my final presentation of my instructional solution for EDTC 6332. The ultimate goal of the project is to provide 5th grade teachers at Lopez-Riggins Elementary with an instructional learning module to close the gaps in science objectives, specifically in reporting category 4, which is organisms and environment. The overall percent of students who passed the 2015 Science Star was an 89. However, after carefully analyzing the Science Star objective item analysis reports for the last 2 years, 2014 and 2015, teachers have seen a decline in scores and have come with the conclusion that students lack knowledge in TEAC 5.10b. 5th grade students attending Lopez-Riggins Elementary who successfully complete this training module will be able to fulfill that objective, to master that objective, which is to differentiate inherited traits of plants and animals, such as spines on a cactus or shape of a beak, and learn behaviors, such as animal learning tricks or a child riding a bicycle. Students will learn the objective and demonstrate mastery of the content by working on a web-based instruction via a website and earning a score of 75% or better. Now, the ultimate goal of the project is also, and most importantly, for students to be able to use technology to enhance their learning experience of the objective by staying engaged and motivated. Some of the course project accomplishments are the creation of, first of all, the Weebly website. The Weebly website is composed of 3 components. First off, 3 instructional videos, which are as follows: inherited traits of animals, inherited traits of plants, inherited and learned behavior. The second component are the 3 practice activities that follow those instructional videos using Quizlet. Quizlet offers students the ability to practice what they've learned using flashcards, Learn, which is a memorization game, Speller, Test, and Scatter, another game which has to do with matching the content with the vocabulary. The last component are the 3 quizzes, which are and have been designed using Quizar, which are composed of multiple choice questions. Now, to better understand these 3 components, we're going to be looking at the Weebly website. Now, as you can see, this is my home page, Inherited Traits and Learned Behavior. It has simple steps, and the first thing that the students must do is to click on lesson video. Secondly, work on practice activities by clicking on practice, and finally clicking on quiz to take an assessment. So let's take a look at the lesson video. Welcome, students. Today we're going to be talking about inherited human and animal traits. First of all, I'll go ahead and mute it so that we can see the content. So the lesson starts with the objective, and the students are instructed to pay attention to the vocabulary while looking at images to connect to the material. And these videos are very short. This one, for example, it's only about 8 to 9 minutes. And once the student completes the video, they would be able to complete the practice activities. So, by clicking on practice, that will take them straight to the Quizlet website. And they're able to click on any of the practice activities to review the content. For example, one of the things that students really enjoy working on is Scatter, which is a timed matching game. They have, I mean, they need to connect the content, the definition with the term. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. Finally, the students are able to go to the quiz, and the quiz will take them directly to Quizar. And in Quizar, they'll able to take short multiple choice quizzes. For instance, this one says, what are the visible characteristics or features called? We're going to go to traits. What do we call the passing of the genetic traits from parents to offspring? Let's say heredity. A recessive trait is not seen when the dominant trait is also present. What are the factors that control traits? Genes. What is a behavior that is not learned but is passed down to offspring from parents? An instinct. It's not learned. A dominant trait is a trait that is always visible in offspring. And let's just randomly select the next few. Once the students take the quiz, they will immediately have the results. And it also has this share and tweet option, but they're going to click on this third box in which they'll be able to email the results taken on the quiz to their teachers. So the students will be provided with their teacher's email address in order to keep them informed of how they performed. Again, students will be able to view the lesson again or take the lesson again at a need basis. Okay, what are the initial and end products? How do they compare? First off, the initial product, when I first started the design, I used Prezi, a Prezi presentation tool, and later changed it to course sites. The reason for the constant changing was that teachers felt that Prezi was too confusing due to the zooming features. So that later I created the course sites. But when I showed them the course sites website, they claimed that it was too hard to follow because it had a lot of unnecessary elements to it. It's hard to follow. So they wanted something simpler. I went ahead and created Weebly, which was my end product. This is what I chose as a medium to meet the teacher's need. Again, there was an overwhelming amount of resources to choose from. So from the beginning to the end, I had to kind of select the most important content. So I limited the resources to ensure that the main focus was not put on quality or on quantity, but on quality. I also changed the way I built the activities. I changed from using QuizMe Online to Quizlet because QuizMe Online only allowed students to quiz themselves. It was the same format over and over again. But Quizlet gives students options as far as how they want to practice, or do they want to play a game, or do they want to take a quiz, or do they want to work with flashcards. I also took in consideration the feedbacks that I received from the teachers and students. The teachers requested that a simpler and cleaner format be used to avoid students from losing sight of the objective. However, they did like the way the content and vocabulary was presented. They liked how the videos provided lots of images to help students understand the content. So they felt more comfortable using Weebly because it's user-friendly and easy to follow. The students, they did seem motivated to work with technology. They were constantly engaged throughout the lessons and activities and the quizzes. And finally, they were able to master the objective of the instructional unit. What are some of the lessons that I learned with this instructional solution as I was designing and developing my lessons? First off, I learned that it's important to always offer stakeholders, provide them with examples, choices, options, if we have in mind to use a specific web application, it's important that we come up with a choice so that they don't come back to you and tell you, well, I don't like this one, look for another solution, or and continue the chain going. It's better to just provide a number of them, have them choose, and then run with it. Secondly, I learned that choosing material or the content carefully is very important, because otherwise it's easily to get sidetracked for wanting to use every single little thing used online or found online or in textbooks. And again, I had to remember that more is not always better, and that it's all about quality and not quantity. I also learned that it's important for me to manage my time wisely and try to get ahead. It's easy to make a schedule or have a calendar and plan for upcoming events or project deadlines. So we kind of organize our time around what the time that we do have available, but we must keep in mind that sometimes we have no control of, for example, family illnesses that we may encounter, or other drawbacks such as maybe having to attend a school event that we didn't have in mind to attend. So it's always good to use your time wisely. Finally, is a human performance solved? I do have to say that the human performance gap was solved. Students were able to successfully complete the training by earning a 75% score or higher. So I'm pleased to say that the instructional unit was a success at Lopez Riggins Elementary. My goal is to continue integrating technology into the classroom and offer students the assistance and support that they need to continue offering students the opportunities to integrate or to use technology in their classrooms. Thank you for your time, and good luck.